The moment I get the chef coat on, it's like I am Superman. It's what makes me feel good. My name is Mario Garcia. I'm the executive chef at the Hilton Chicago, and I've been there for 22 years. Food to me is my passion, it's my way of life. When I was little, my parents and I worked in a farm growing tomatoes, cilantro, peppers, beans. This is what you call living from the land. Tomatoes have a big place in my heart. So now you see my recipes on the things that I do, you're always gonna find some sort of a tomato element. For me, it all started when I was at my first job at Hilton, being the pot washer, the food runner, being the guy that was just looking at chefs doing things. And then the opportunities that I got working at Hilton to get to the point where I am now, it's just been an amazing ride for me. The influences from chefs that are all over the world. Me and my wife took a trip to Italy. So we found this little restaurant. They served us a gnocchi. And when I tasted the gnocchi, it was like melting in your mouth. And everything was freshly made right there from scratch. One of the things that I do, and I say all the time to my cooks, is look for the freshest, best quality ingredients, and then create simple dishes that reflect the hard work that we put into our kitchens. It is important for us to know that people feel passion for their job, for the food that they make, and having a brigade of cooks working towards a common goal, making really good food. And for me, it's just exciting.
Tonight, I have the pleasure of welcoming you into our homes and onto our patios for a Memorial Day building community, hosted by the Hilton Chicago, the Palmer House, the Drake, and PSAV, with special guest, Hilton Chicago Executive Chef Mario Garcia. Our founder, Conrad Hilton, shared the story 60 years ago about the significance of a cup of coffee in Turkey. He said, the story was, after a cup of coffee with me, said my host, that commits you to a friendship for 30 years. Almost 5 years ago, we began the Building Community program with that idea in mind, that our business and meeting travelers, along with our hotel teams, could connect with each other over coffee, or in our case tonight, other beverages, to create a sense of community on the road. Over these 5 years, we've had the amazing honor to meet many travelers from around the world, make new friends, and make an impact on the community. From events like packing meals, painting and restoring schools, to hosting camps for children with cancer, the journey has been rewarding and it brings us closer together, especially in times like these. When you think about community, think to your own homes. Where does everyone congregate? The kitchen. Why? Food, of course. It's the catalyst for everything. Gathering, laughter, warm banter, and one of the most important pillars of the hospitality industry. Having a memorable meal at a restaurant or grilling up steaks like we're going to do tonight in the backyard helps to create a sense of balance through socializing within our community. Tonight, we will go on a new journey together, one that will tantalize our taste buds, perfecting your grilling skills, which I could use help with, for a big family barbecue with Chef Mario Garcia, Executive Chef. Now, let's welcome Chef Mario and his team of sous chefs, the Chicks. Chef, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Gene?
Good. We are excited. So Chef, you know what, everybody, following Chef Mario on Instagram, if you've had the opportunity over the past several weeks, I've been amazed by his creative ingenuity to prepare family meals for under $10 while keeping the Chicks entertained with lessons that will last a lifetime and sure to be near and dear to their hearts, and something we thought you'd enjoy too. A few notes though about tonight. Chef, we will be taking questions during the grilling. I'll do my best to try and ask those. So at the end, please add them to the chat box and we'll do our best to ask Chef Mario. If we don't get to your question though, don't worry. We'll still compile a list of questions and we'll have Chef Mario, and we'll send them out as a follow-up. And last but not least, feel free to snap, share, and tag at Hilton_Chicago_hotel. We'd love to see your meals and how your families celebrate the holiday weekend. Chef Mario, the grill is yours.
Hello. My name is Mario Garcia. Like you were saying, I'm the chef at the Hilton Chicago. And notice how I say the chef. Here in Chicago, we always say the because of the Bears. And I'm sure there are a few more popular teams out there. One of them being the baseball teams. As you can see, wearing my silver and black because I'm a Sox fan. I'm a big baseball fan as well. And one of the things that I really, when I think about cooking and when I think about what we do in our hotel, I always say, when we welcome our guests, we welcome them feeling like they will welcome them into our own house. So today, we are hosting you from our own home. So welcome. And like the old saying says, mi casa es su casa. I'm here with my sous chef today, Chef Lulu. Lulu, can you say hi to the camera? She is making a garlic bread because everybody that knows me, they know that I really like cooking a little bit. That I like cooking and I like to eat a lot of bread. So she's gonna be helping with the bread recipe, but I am gonna focus on grilling and making a really cool steak dish. So as you can see, I have a table. I don't know if you can see my table. I have a table that has a lot of ingredients here. And in this table, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on our potatoes recipe right away. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a medium-sized pan, a little bit shallow, so you can start making your sauce. And for this one, what you're going to need, you're going to need your butter. The first thing that you throw in there is your butter. And right away, you want to throw your garlic in. As soon as your garlic is going, all you want from your garlic is to start releasing the aromas, because the first thing that you want to do is you're going to make your sauce. And while you're making your sauce, you want to burn your garlic. You just want that aroma to be released. You want to start to see your garlic getting translucent a little bit. And I wish you could smell it. It smells wonderful. And you can see it right here. It's starting to sizzle. You can see it right there. And this is the moment that I'm going to add my flour. And once I add my flour, I also going to start using a whisk. And the reason I'm going to use the whisk is because once I start adding my milk, the sauce is going to go very, very, very fast. And I want to get the sauce out of the way right away, because it's the one thing that I want to start cooking. I want to put it in the oven. So you're going to need about a cup of milk. And you start pouring your milk little by little. And you continue to mix. Just please not stop mixing, because what you want to do is you want to avoid any lumps as you're cooking your sauce. And as soon as you finish pouring all of your milk, you're going to see that your sauce is starting to get a little bit thicker. This is the time that you're going to add your a little bit a touch of nutmeg. And as soon as you add your nutmeg, you mix it up, you're gonna see that your sauce is starting to thicken. You see it right here. And what you want is, you want the sauce to keep cooking a little bit longer while you are preparing your potatoes. So in my case, I started with the potatoes a little bit earlier, but you're looking for a nice yellowish color yukon potato. You don't want something that it looks greenish already, because it looks greenish, it means that it's been already in the shelving at the grocery store for quite some time. And you don't want the old potatoes. You want the young, more yellowish, buttery looking potatoes. And that's what you're gonna be looking for. So once you peel your potatoes, you have your potatoes peeled, and they are like this. You're gonna see it, you're gonna do cutting board. You're gonna put it in your cutting board, and as you put it in your cutting board, you're gonna put it in the flattest possible side that you can. So you can see it right here. I have it in my side, on my flattest possible side. I'm gonna cut 2 slices, and then I'm gonna flip my potato over. So now my potato is safe. Now my potato is not gonna move. So now I'm gonna be able to very quickly slice my potato. And as you can see, I'm looking for about a quarter, 1/8 each on the slices of the potatoes. And then when you get to this side, your potato is still all here. So you're just gonna line them up in your pan like this. And it's gonna look something like this. That looks good, baby. Now you're gonna put some of the garlic butter with your brush like this. All right, I gotta stop now to look into the garlic bread. So now my sauce, as you remember, we were waiting for a sauce to thicken up. So now the sauce is nice and thick. And we are ready to rock and roll to finish up our potato recipe. So what you are going to do once you have your sauce and your sauce is hot, you're gonna put it all over your potatoes, making sure that you cover all the potatoes. You may think, oh, is that gonna be enough cream? Trust me, it is enough cream. You just gotta trust the process. And then after you finish pouring your cream on it, you are going to do your Parmigiano. I have already grated Parmesan here, ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do is I just want to put it on top of my potatoes. And these ones are ready to go in the oven. Now, one of the things that you can, depending on how many more things you have going on, you can either put them in the oven at 350 degrees and wait for them to be done, or you can use, you can put them directly into the grill and just let them sit in the grill, and they will cook a little bit slower in the grill, but you want a more even cook, and you probably want to bring them to the oven. They're going to look something like this. They look really, really, really nice. So I'm just going to put it in my grill, and I'm gonna let them go in there. So now for the next recipe that we're going to do, we're gonna do the blue cheese butter. For the blue cheese butter, what we're going to do is we're gonna need a bowl. And the bigger the bowl that you have, the better it is, because you're gonna need some space to be able to mix in your blue cheese and your butter. So you make sure that you have your softened butter. Then you put some of the cheese, honey. Here, you put the cheese on top. And now you put your butter in there. Make sure that it's really, really, really soft. And you're gonna give it a very, very, very quick mix to this butter. So you have your whisk. Now you have a very fancy KitchenAid. You can use your KitchenAid. I just like to use a bowl, and I would like to do this very, very, very fast. You are just looking to cream your butter. You know, when you go to the fancy steak houses and you get a butter on top of your steak that just looks nice and foamy and creamy. So this is what they do. They cream it up. Perfect. Now you got to bring it into the oven, sweetie. Okay. Whoop. There you go. So now, once you have your butter that is being creamed right here, so now we're gonna add our seasonings. So I'm gonna do my salt. Now remember, we're using a blue cheese, so you wanna be a little bit light in your sauce because blue cheese is gonna have that umami flavor that is gonna enhance the flavor of the salt. You're gonna have your chives. You're gonna be generous for your chives, and then you're gonna have your blue cheese. Now, when it comes to blue cheese, you know, there is always this controversy, which one is the better blue cheese. So if you ask a French person, they're gonna say the king of cheeses is Roquefort, a really true plain blue cheese. If you ask the English are gonna say Stilton is the best. And if you ask the Italians are gonna say, oh no, it's Gorgonzola. So if you ask me, it's a buttermilk blue from Wisconsin. That is the one that I like to have. Why? Because the sharpness of that cheese is gonna give my steak really, really, really good flavor. So here we go. So all you wanna do is you wanna mix your butter and your blue cheese as much as you can and as fast as you can. Make sure that all your ingredients are fully incorporated, and then you're ready to go. Your compound butter is ready. So now what I'm going to do, I lost my spatula. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use a palette instead. You're gonna use a wood palette. And for this one, what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of parchment paper that I also misplaced. Whoop. And it's right here. A piece of parchment paper that you're gonna need. And for this piece of parchment paper, what you're going to do is you're gonna lay it on the cutting board. You're gonna lay it in the cutting board, and then you're gonna put your butter on the paper. And what you're going to do with your butter is you're gonna roll it into a cylinder. Okay, let me use my sous chef here so she can keep this plate over here so we get it out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about. So now you have your butter right here, and now you're gonna make it into a nice little line because we're gonna make it into a nice cylinder because we're gonna cut nice rounds when we start cutting our butter. And you wanna put your butter in the fridge as soon as possible. Remember, we already have our potatoes going. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your spatula, your spoon, and you're gonna roll your butter back a little bit so you make the perfect cylinder. And then you start rolling. We're gonna roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Now you can use plastic film. You can use, don't use aluminum foil unless you have the really thick one, but you're gonna look for something like this. It's gonna look something like this. It's nice, it has a nice volume to it. And now you're just gonna put it in the refrigerator. You're gonna let it sit for at least 2 hours or so, but in this case, I'm just gonna put it in my ice cooler that I have here. I'm gonna put it here. And now, we're gonna work into our onion recipe. Our onions need to marinate in the buttermilk for a little bit. So when you have the body of the onion, you're gonna look at the onion, looks like this. You have the stem, you have the roots of the onion. So when you're gonna work in your, I lost my knife now. Where do you put my knife? Ah, right here. So you're gonna take a little bit of the stem of the onion off, and then you're gonna cut in the middle. And as you are going to peel your onions, what you're going to do now, oh, by the way, I have my compost container right here because, the environment is very important for me. It's something that we work very close together with many organizations in regards to sustainability at Hilton. So I just carry those practices into my house, and sustainability and composting is a big thing for me. So I even compost at home. So anyway, so going back to your onion. So once you take your onion and you have taken the stem off, now you have this onion that looks something like this. So you have the roots right here. You're gonna take as many of those little roots that you can, and then you're gonna place your onion in your cutting board. You're gonna put the roots of the onions facing you, right in front of you, and then what you are going to do is you're gonna start cutting it right in the middle. You cut it right in the middle, and you're gonna make little wedges. So you're gonna cut one, you're gonna cut two, and you're gonna cut four. And what you're looking to get these type of wedges. You're looking for wedges that look like this. And the reason you wanna do that, is because when you put them in, when you fry your onions and you crisp out your onions, you wanna have nice little segments of onions that you are able to manage very easily. And you're gonna see later, they're gonna come very, very handy, these wedges. Right here. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster. And so the other day I was doing a cooking demo and I was asked for, chef, do you have any food jokes that you can tell us? And I was like, oh, I have a few, but I don't know how many people are gonna get upset. So, but I like, I like, well, every Tuesday in our house is Taco Tuesday. And I'm sure many people think about it as one of the things that are funny to hear, but every Tuesday at our house is Taco Tuesday. So one of the things that I wanted to say, one of the jokes that I always do is like, do you know why you cannot trust tacos? And then, my kids look at me and they're like, why you cannot trust tacos? And I say, well, you cannot trust tacos because they always spill the beans. They always spill the beans. So that's why you never trust tacos. So now we're gonna leave our onions marinating for a couple of minutes. So I'm just gonna put it to the side. Actually, gonna put it right here since I'm no longer using this. Now this one goes right here. So this one goes right here. Lulu, you're gonna have a job very, very soon. I'm gonna put this one over here. So now we're gonna talk about our salad. I put a recipe for a tomato mozzarella salad. And what I did is I made 3 or 4 different portions of tomato mozzarella salad. And I wanted to show what is going to be the trend moving forward, the way we're going to be operating, and the way we are brainstorming as we're going to move forward in our hotel, doing contactless portions. So we were already using a lot of these concepts. And this one, for example, it's just it's an individual bubble. And what you have here, you have a tomato mozzarella salad. And basically, so once you prepare it, you cover it, and you can serve it to your guest, and it's ready to go, and there is no contact. Everybody gets their own portion. Then you have this other version, which is with a heirloom tomatoes. And you can see it right here as well. It's in a little jar, and it's covered. And you have your tomato mozzarella with your basil in there. And then you have, a little Chinese bag, a cute little see-through Chinese bag, so you can see what it's in there. So you can see what's going on in here. Now, for the
Chef?
tomato mozzarella, yes, sir.
Chef, we have a question. Everyone was very excited about the onions. What are you marinating the onions in again? Is that buttermilk?
Yes, sir. It's a buttermilk. I like to add a little buttermilk, so when we fry the onions, they're gonna get nice and crunchy. They're gonna retain some of the crunchiness around it. So you will see when we get to it. I like to marinate them at least for an hour. But for purposes of time, I'm gonna let them marinate for about 10 minutes.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so go back to my tomato mozzarella salad. So you do look like this. So now, when it comes to balsamics, I am very passionate about balsamics. One thing that I recommend everybody, when you're gonna buy your balsamic in the store, Don't buy the goofy glaze that it's in there that is already thick. Rather look for a really good balsamic that it says, you look in the ingredient list and it just says great must. Do not buy anything that says caramel color, because something that is caramel color is not going to be a very good quality. Do not buy white balsamic. That's something completely different. True aceto balsamico, it's this color. It looks something like this. You're looking for a real balsamico Modena. You're gonna have, you're gonna spend a little bit more money, but the flavor is gonna be really, really good. And you're gonna be looking for something that it says in the ingredients list, aceto balsamico, and it says great must. Cook great must. That's what you're looking for. And when you're looking for a good olive oil, the same thing. You look at the label, you're looking for an olive oil that says 100% olive oil. And that's what you're looking for. Now, the region of the world that you get your olive oil from, that's pretty much up to you. But anyway, back to cooking. So you have your salad right here. You have your tomatoes. We do a little bit drizzle of olive oil. We do our balsamic, a little bit of balsamic. Whoop. I do a lot of balsamic. And then a touch of salt and a touch of pepper. Now, I'm gonna give Olivia a job right now because she's gonna marinate for me my asparagus while I'll talk about asparagus for a little bit. So now we have our salads ready. We have our onion ready. We have our butter ready. Now we're gonna go into the asparagus, into the steaks. We're getting there. There is no rush on the steaks. The steaks cook really, really fast. So I'm not concerned about the steaks because the one thing that I for sure don't want to do, I don't want to overcook the steaks. So when you're looking into buying asparagus, this morning I went to the farmer's market. We work with, in the hotel, we work with a few farmers markets from around the Midwest. Farmers from Wisconsin, from Iowa. We buy Iowa's beef at the hotel. And when it comes to asparagus, we get a lot of asparagus from Michigan. So one thing that you want to see, it's like this morning I went to visit our farmer and I told him, hey, like I'm gonna get some asparagus and I wanna show our guests, so what is it about what is so good about your asparagus? So when you get your asparagus, you're looking for asparagus that look like very, very, very green. I also got some nice purple asparagus. And when you have this asparagus, you're looking for the breaking point. Like you see, all my asparagus were done with a breaking point. And for the reason you're looking for that breaking point is because that will show you how tender your asparagus are and how good they really, how fresh they are. And you get your asparagus and they don't break, then you have a problem. So they snap very easily. They can be nice crudite. And then what I did is I peeled them as much as I could at the breaking point because I'm going to use the ends for a nice salad at the end. So you want to see it once we grill them. So Miss Olivia, can you use this asparagus? And I need you to give me some salt and some pepper on this asparagus. Right here. So for now, we're just gonna do salt and pepper on the asparagus. I have a matte grill and the black one. So for the asparagus, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I just wanna throw them into the charcoal grill just because I like the flavor of the charcoal for my vegetables. And when it comes to the steak, I'm gonna do two versions of the steak. I'm gonna make steaks in the charcoal grill, and I'm gonna make steaks in the, that's enough, sweetie. Now you gotta mix them. When it comes to vegetables and cooking grilled asparagus, you can put them directly into the grill. Or you can do something, you can get a mat like this. These mats are for grills. And what you do is you just put them directly on top of your grill, like I'm going to do right here in a section of my grill. And they are meant for you to use them on it so you don't lose your vegetables as you're cooking. So you put them in there and you don't want to lose your vegetables. They're going to be there. Perfect. Thank you very much. So now that our vegetables are marinated, so now I'm just going to put them in the grill. Hi. Oh, the other sous chef just came by to check on us, make sure that we are okay. My other daughter usually comes at the end when we are almost done cooking, and she says, "Hey, you guys are okay?" And then we say, "Yeah, we're okay." And then she says, "Okay, so now I'm gonna do something else." So in about 30 seconds, you're gonna see Olivia about to jump, or wanting to jump because we just had two bumblebees that just flew by us, but now they flew away, so I think she's gonna be okay. So now it's steak time. So when I'm at work, what happens to us at work is the way we're gonna do the steaks in the gas grill is the same way that we do the steaks that we do our steaks at work. And the way we do our steaks at work is that we mark grill them, then we baste them with herbs, garlic, butter, and sea salt. And it doesn't matter if it's steaks for 10 people or if it's steaks for 1,000 people. The system is consistent. The system is always the same. And this is the time, if I was working an event and I have all my brigade going on, I will have the guy that is cooking the potatoes. He's by the oven. He's just waiting for the potatoes to be ready. Then I have the person that is going to be working in the onions, and he knows that he cannot go with the onions too soon because then the onions are going to get soggy. The guy that is grilling the vegetables, they know those vegetables got to be crisp, they got to be well seasoned, and they got to be ready to roll. So the guy that is working in the steaks, he's like pretty much just chilling and he's controlling the tempo of the entire dinner. So now we're gonna season it. Be generous with your salt when seasoning your steaks. You're using a very fine, refined salt. Don't do too much. Refined salt. I always use kosher salt or sea salt. And I always do both sides. Okay, now I have my steaks ready to roll. So now I'm going to do my 2 steaks. Oh, I wish you could see my potatoes. I hope your potatoes are turning just as cool as these ones as I have here. I'm gonna show them to you right now. Look at those puppies. Oh my goodness, they look so good. Take this other one out of here. And I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna close this.
Hey, Chef.
Steaks. Yes, sir.
Chef, quick question for you. How long should, one of the panel team members asked, how long should the asparagus stay on the grill? And is there a difference between charcoal and gas?
Yes, the gas is gonna cook them in a more consistent speed than what you're gonna get into than what you're gonna get into the charcoal, because the charcoal depends on how good your charcoals are going. So it is gonna depend on how hot your charcoals really are. Any tongues for the stick. What we're going to do right now is we're gonna start with our steaks and the gas side, and then our steaks and the charcoal side. And again, the charcoal is gonna cook as fast as you can, as good as you have your charcoals going. Thank you. Oh, when I was working with Olivia, sometimes what happens to me is that Olivia is playing with my cooking utensils, and she uses them, she moves them around, but it's part of the fun. It happens in the real kitchen as well, trust me. Everybody taking everybody else's knives, and it becomes a hassle. So if I was at work, what will be happening right now is the guy cooking the steaks is focused. He's working on his steaks. The guy in the potatoes knows that he's almost ready. He's about 5 minutes out. So this is the time that the onion guy is gonna start to go on. Now, when you do your onions, one thing that you're gonna look into it is you're gonna get your seasoning. You wanna season your flour, a little salt, pepper, and then you're going to do a little bit of paprika. You're gonna give it a quick stir. And then please, be patient with the onions. Don't dump all your onions into the mix right away. You wanna do one at a time. So this is why we wanted to cut them the way we're gonna cut the onions. So this is more or less what you're looking to do, something like this. You get another one. I'm gonna do about 3 or 4 pieces right now. Now I have my little deep fryer going on here. You can do it into a pan, but remember, we have our asparagus going, we have our steaks going, we have everything going on. So if I was at work, right now, this is the time that all my brigade is ready to roll. Everybody's focused, everybody got a job, everybody's got to keep their concentration on what we're doing. So now we get our steaks in one side. We're gonna give it a nice cross line. We get our steaks on the other side. These ones are not ready. Oh, this side is ready. Perfect. Perfect. And you can see we're gonna flip our asparagus. See, you got your mat is working beautiful at the mat, so life is good. And now we have our onions ready, so now we gotta do our onions as well. So now we have our onions going. And again, you know, this process you can continue to go. You can keep going as you go. You can continue to make more onions. Everything is cooking at the same time. So at work, this is the time that is fun because they know that I'm watching everybody. So I'll be watching the guy with the steaks. I'll be watching the guy with the onions. The guy that is going to be in charge of the butter. This is the time that he's starting to freak out because he doesn't know who's going to be ready first. The guys with the steaks or the guys with the vegetables or the guys with the flour, but he knows he's gonna be ready the dish line at a specific time. So I'm like, you know, he's got a challenge in his hands. But this is what makes our job so much fun and makes it, you know, what it is for me. It's the passion, it's the fun of being in the kitchen and having a really, really, really good time. So steaks.
Hey, chef.
Yes, sir.
So you're starting to do exactly. Somebody just asked, how long do we cook the steaks on each side?
Okay, so here I go. So your grill says that it's over 400 degrees. You're gonna be about 2.5 minutes on each side. If your grill it's at about 400 degrees, you're gonna cook your steaks for about 3 minutes on each side. That's more or less the rule of thumb. Now, if you're doing it at home, if you're doing it inside your house, and the way I will do it inside the house in the stove, in the tabletop, and in the oven. The way I usually work my steaks in the oven is I get my steaks at room temperature for 30 minutes. Once I get my steaks going at room temperature for 30 minutes, then I put them in the oven for 6 minutes at 400 degrees. I take them out of the oven after the 6 minutes, and then I put them in my pan like I'm going to do here to do my basting. On my steaks. And I'm gonna do my basting of the steaks for about 2 minutes. But here, because our grill is been going on, is really hot. It has very good temperature. Except for my
rare. Is that for rare, chef?
About that. Huh?
Is that for that time? Is that for rare or medium?
Medium rare.
Medium rare. Okay.
For medium you will do 1 more minute or so.
Focus on the dogs for 1 second.
Okay, so now we have our steaks. You know, they have beautiful grill marks. Yeah, very nice grill marks. And then, you know, there is always the tail of the steak. You know, if I do my steaks and if I do this in my hand, you know, if I do this in my hand, can I determine the temperature? It's going to depend on people's hands. So that's why I never recommend to do that. Because some people have very skinny hands because they are in the keyboard all the time or because of the type of work that they do. And some people, you know, they do it a little bit differently. So to me, either you want to do a thermometer or you go by the time. And that's what I will do. Now, you are really, really good and you have done this you know, for a really long time. So then you can just press on your steak. See how firm it is. The firmer it is, the more cooked it is. So this one still bounces very well, so it's still very rare. So here we go. So now I'm going to do my basting. So for my basting, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need olive oil. I'm going to be giving me a nice spoon of olive oil. I'm going to do my garlic. And I'm going to do my rosemary right now. I also going to add my butter.
Hey, chef, what cut of meat are you using there?
Oh, I'm using boneless ribeyes.
Oh, excellent. Is that your favorite cut? You know what? We have a T-bone. I have 3 boys, so we had to go big on the steaks.
Yes, I see.
so that there's plenty of food.
We the girls like the ribeye better. Me personally, I'm also a T-bone steak person, or a porterhouse.
That looks really good.
Also, I wanted to don't forget about your onions. So we have our onions going. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have our onions right here. I'm going to let them rest right here for a little bit, and I'm going to focus on my steak. So the steaks look something like this. And now this is when we're going to start doing our basting. So for basting our steaks, basically you just pick up your fat and you pour it on top of your steak. And we do this at work. We do it for anywhere, you know. Again, like I say, we can do it for 10 people or we can do it for 2,000 people. With the system is the same. We have ovens that allow us to do this at work. So the oven goes into a mode that is called searing, and that's what we use to do our searing and our basting. We put our steaks in large trays, and once we have those trays going, then that's what we do our basting. Okay, so I was talking about the onions. So they look something like this, nice brown and crispy, like this. And you can see it, they are nice and crispy. So they're gonna make for a beautiful garnish. So I'm gonna do the second batch that I had already floured. Here. My steaks and my charcoal grill are almost ready. My asparagus are screaming for me. So everything is coming along together very, very well. Now, this is the time that my butter guy will be like, okay, chef, it's go time. Can I go now? Can I go now? And this is the time that I will say, yes, you can go now. I'm gonna move this plate out of the way. And I'm gonna have another plate right here that I'm gonna use for my final plate up. Okay, so now look at my steaks. I'm gonna do one more round of basting. And now I'm going to do my sea salt. And now I'm gonna let my steak rest. I like to let my steak rest for like 5 minutes or so before I cut into it. So this is a perfect time that I have to finish up my other steaks. As you can see, my steaks with the charcoal from the charcoal grill. See my steaks from the charcoal grill. Now we are letting them rest. So now we gotta clear the board. Gotta clear my tomatoes. So now it's time to put our plates together. Dun, 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 dun. So this is the time that we present dinner. So usually at this time, because the girls today are shy because they saw the camera, and the girls will be with me right here and they'll be like, Daddy, are we ready to eat dinner? Daddy, are we ready to eat dinner? They'll be asking me for asparagus. They eat a lot of asparagus. As you can see, even when you're using the mat, the grill mat, I have very nice char in my asparagus. And I use those grill mats out of, nothing other than because I used to hate losing asparagus into the grill, but I also use them because it allows me not to have to make a big cleanup on the grill. So that's one of the secrets that I use those asparagus. My potatoes are done as well. So now I'm ready for plate up time. Okay. Jen, can you help me with this? Oh, that's it. It worked out. I'm gonna check on my other onions. Okay, so if I was at work, I will have a line of chefs starting to ready to go. The chef with the steaks is ready. The chef with the vegetables is ready. And the chef with the onions is ready. What about the chef with the butter? Where is the guy with the butter? So now, through the magic of television, I have my butter ready, cut, nice little cylinders, ready to go. I'm gonna temper it for a little bit right here. It's gonna let it sit right there. And now, plate up time. So I'm gonna start with my asparagus. Remember that I say I was gonna use my asparagus and I was gonna use the ends of the asparagus. So what I'm going to do with asparagus, I'm going to do this. And these are the ends. And these ends of asparagus are gonna make me a salad or grilled asparagus. And I'll show you why in a minute. I have my asparagus. I'm gonna move them to the side. I'm gonna season them with a little bit of lemon zest. I'm gonna do a little lemon zest over here. I have my plate. I have my plate right here. So I'm gonna put my portion of asparagus nicely lined up. I have some of my onions here. I also have some potatoes here ready to go. But I have the other ones over there in the pan that we started cooking at the beginning of our presentation. I have these ones right here as well, so I'm gonna use these ones too. I'd rather use these ones. I like them. Ooh, they are beautifully soft, and the gratinate on top of it looks great. Okay, let me see if I can get a nice portion out of here. I'm gonna put it right here. Look at that. Look at how it's taking shape. So now we're going to do our steak. My butter right here. Now I have some of my onions. Gene, how are you doing? How's your steak going? Are you ready?
I am ready, Chef. I've got one that was sitting here. It looks delicious. My 19-year-old is ready to jump in. And the other one, they were too big for my pan. So let's note to self, I need to get 2 pans next time. But as I look at them, they turned out really well. I'm excited. And the mozzarella and tomatoes turned out well. So this is really good. I put the asparagus. Yeah, I put the asparagus in the other in the kitchen so it could just sit. Because I'm realizing watching you now, Chef. I need to get 2 more grills.
So look at the steak. It's a nice medium rare right here. It looks fantastic. Nice and juicy. So now I have my steak. So now I'm gonna put my steak right here. There you go. This, as you can see, this is gonna be my dinner. I'm gonna do my onions. I'm gonna do my onions right here. And then, you saw in the beginning of the presentations, one way or another, all my dishes will have a piece of tomato somewhere. So I did some roasted tomatoes earlier. So it goes my tomato. And then I'm gonna do my butter.
Hey, Chef.
Yes, sir.
First, that plate looks amazing. That really is amazing. But one question we just got, is there a reason you cut the steak that way? Is there a better way to cut steaks when you're doing this, or what do you think?
You're looking to go against the grain. That's what you're looking for. So it depends on how your steak was cut. I avoided the fat nut that was in the middle of my steak. You can see it right here. I avoided that part. So I'm just trying to trim my steak so you have a nice trim steak already as it goes into the plate. Let me get my other onions out of here. And that is the reason that I cut it that way. A lot of times what I'll do is I have my steaks and I keep it like this. I will put it on top of the grill because I already turned it off. So I will put it on the top part of the grill. And the reason that I will put it on the top part of the grill, so my steak stays hot while I plate up the steaks for the kiddos. And I'll put it right there.
Mario, there's a couple questions. Well, just to clarify for everybody, we will send out the shopping list again, so you have that, and we are recording this, so we can send that link out also. What do you think? As somebody, the way that you went through the steaks tonight was absolutely fantastic. As somebody who maybe isn't as good of a griller, a chef daddy barbecue guy like you, what are some of the things to set us up for success on the front end?
Have all your ingredients ready to go. That will be the first one. Have everything preset, ready to go before you start cooking. That will be the first one that you're gonna work with. But your steaks they gotta temper. You gotta take your steaks out of the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes before you cook them. You want them to get acclimated. The other one is when you cook your steak, don't cut it right away because there are so much movement and there are so many the molecules in your steak. There are so many of them that are moving around with the heat. They are reacting to the heat, so they are going crazy inside your steak. So what you want is you want your steak to get some, to be normal again. So you let your steak rest for a little bit, and that way you don't lose all of your juices. You notice that
Gotcha.
you get your steak and you cut it right away, and your steak it starts getting grainy and it starts getting very dry. So the way you do it, even if you cook it medium to medium well, and you cook it and you allow that steak to rest, I can assure you that when you start cutting it, even if it's cooked towards the more well done parts, you're still gonna have a nice steak that has some juices on it and it's not completely dry. So that's one of the things that I will recommend. Obviously, if you have really good ingredients, the best quality ingredients that you buy, that's the quality of your steak that you're gonna get. You get rich, creamy butter when you're doing your basting. You're gonna get a very tasty steak.
Mm.
One of the reasons I like to use the blue cheese butter is because, as you can see, Gene, I cut my steak a little while ago, and you see very little juice on the plate, almost nothing. You see it's a little bit right there. So my steak didn't lose any of the juices because I allow it to rest for a little bit. So one of the things that you will see
Mm.
with the blue cheese butter is that I always like the blue cheese butter because he brings that umami to a full flavor on the steak. You have good steak, you season it with salt and pepper. Then you do your basting with butter, garlic, rosemary. You can use oregano, you can use thyme, whatever herb you like the best. Do not use parsley or cilantro. You want to use hardier herbs. You can even use sage. You like sage, but it all depends of the type of herb that you prefer. So
Got it.
in my case, I like rosemary. I like to use the type of rosemary that is called Mexican rosemary. We call it romerillo. It is almost a cross between tarragon and rosemary. It is very flagrant, so I have a nice aroma right here in the area where I'm standing. And then in the blue cheese butter, just brings that umami to a full flavor.
Excellent. Let me just see if there's any other questions that are on here, Chef. Um,
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if they want another joke. I have another one.
yeah, that's hilarious. You know what? I do have a question about tomatoes. Um,
Oh,
you know,
oh
do,
yes.
do do you peel tomatoes or do you slice them? How do you where do you stand on tomatoes?
Okay, so when it comes to a tomato mozzarella salad, I always recommend that people get the ones in the vine. They are almost the same price all the time. Unless your Roma tomatoes at the grocery store look really nice and look really red. But what happens with fresh Roma tomatoes, when they pick them in the fields, they are almost like yellowish. They are not red. They are not fully red. So the plant doesn't get the opportunity to develop all the sugars and the full flavors on the tomato. So that's why you will see that I use a lot of these tomatoes. Uh, when I use them for my tomato mozzarella salad, I don't peel them. When I use them for my gnocchi recipe, I do peel them. So,
Mm.
it depends on the application that I'm using them. I use the heirloom tomatoes, the cherry heirloom tomatoes in this case, like these ones. For me, it's because my girls love them. They just snack on them like, like they're like candy. They just get a little bowl of tomatoes and they like snack on them like that. So that's the reason I use the heirloom cherry tomatoes.
Gotcha.
When they are in season, they are very flavorful. Even myself, in my backyard, we have sun gold, we have cherry chocolate, and we have a little caper tomatoes. We use a lot of small little tomatoes. I think this year we have about 6 or 7 different varieties of tomatoes. How many? Oh, I hear it's to like 20 different varieties of tomatoes. So
Oh my
we went
gosh.
crazy in our tomato. We went crazy in our tomato plants this year. We have about 40 plants going on. So we have a
Wow.
lot going on. As you can see in the back, I don't know, you can see it in the background. You'll see the green garlic over there. So I use green garlic. right now I'm cooking because we have a few plants of green garlic. I wish you could see my green onions. I have a palette with green onions, which is pretty funny.
Chef, that sounds amazing. Listen, Chef Mario, thank you so much. Could you quickly tell everybody your Instagram? I
Oh
am getting
yes, please
requests for
follow
that.
me.
Yeah.
My Instagram is El Chef Mario E Garcia. That's my handle on Instagram, El Chef Mario E Garcia. And then, if anybody wants to join us tomorrow, if you look into the Facebook page at the Hilton Facebook page, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., we're going to be doing some more cooking. We're going to be doing Korean style barbecue ribs. We're going to be doing elotes, but we're going to do my cake and elotes. We're going to do sriracha mayo with cotija cheese. We're going to do contactless s'mores. We a different version of s'mores because I've been practicing a lot of the contactless recipes because I need to be ready for us for work at the Hilton Chicago, but also when I host people here at work, I want to make sure that I have already. When I invite guests, there are some areas of my food or my cooking that are contactless. So we're going to be doing the s'mores, elotes. We're going to do a shrimp aguachile. Oh, that's a good recipe. So we're gonna do some marinated shrimps with lime juice and carrots. Man, I'm already getting hungry, and I still gotta eat my steak. So yeah, tomorrow we have a lot more cooking to do, and right here in the same spot, which is fun. It's just a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, Chef Mario, I just want to say on behalf of everybody, you are amazing. Your passion for food inspires us. The way you explain it excites us, and the way it tastes makes it memorable. I've had the opportunity to see a lot of chefs over the years, and hands down, you make cooking fun. You make us wanna do this, and to be around somebody that has the passion you have, it's exciting. And as I watch the comments going across the screen here, I think everybody shares the same sentiment. You are a complete rock star, and I can't wait till we can be together in person back at the Hilton Chicago. To everybody else, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully,
Gene,
yes, Chef.
I have one more thing that I wanted to show you.
Oh yeah.
Right here. So I'm gonna use my other half of my steak. I'm gonna take the fat out of it, and I'm gonna use the other half of my steak. This is a concept that we already were working at the Hilton Chicago a while for smaller meetings. Anywhere up to 50 people, and we were doing small boxes, bento boxes, and you can see it right here. So where you can have everything in one box. And this is something really, really cool. So you have your box right here. I don't know if you can see me.
There we go.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Okay, so you can see the box right here. So you have your steak, you have your potatoes, you have your asparagus, you have your tomato salad, and then you have your butter. And
that's amazing.
Isn't it? And then you'll cover them up. Ready. Lunch is ready to be served.
Yeah, I could see us. We'll do that. We'll do that for our first meetings in July. We'll do that for our first small meetings.
I believe so. It's a great idea. It's a lot of great concepts that we're working with the team at the Hilton Chicago. So there is a lot of potential. I'm sure all the Hiltons of Chicago already have ideas. They are brainstorming us of how we are going to approach a new era of doing business and a new way of meeting with people.
Yes. Chef, thank you so much. And to everybody out there, again, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you learned something. If nothing else, hopefully you're really hungry like me and you're ready to dig in and start eating some of these, some of this food. I wish you a happy, safe, and healthy Memorial Day. We will send out the menus. Chef also has his $10 menus he's been doing on Instagram and Facebook. We will send out some of those also, and we look forward to seeing you in person. And as our founder says, please take the opportunity to go out and spread the warmth and light of hospitality. What we do is enjoyable, and what we were able to do tonight together, building community, is just exciting. Chef, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing all of you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.